Hey everybody, it's Rhiannon again. I am here to talk to y'all about meaningful posts and conversations. I think that it's very important to make sure that if you're spending your time talking to people or posting on your page or your VIP group or really anywhere, that you're taking the time to make sure that it's meaningful and that it's your own. Because when you're running a business, especially with the majority of it being based online, you run the risk of losing that personal interaction that you get from, sorry, my dog's walking around here. That personal interaction you get from being in person and having a conversation with somebody. You trying to get down, baby? Sorry. Guys, you want to say hi? Gus says, leave me alone. No, you want to stay up here? Okay. Anyway, you lose part of that, what you gain from being in person. You can't see people's facial expressions unless you're doing video chat. You're not going to be able to get a read off of their body language, and a lot of these things that can tell you about how their day has already gone, and the difference you're making in their day. So you want to make sure that all of your communications, that you're making them meaningful, because it's a lot more apt to be taken kindly. It's a lot more apt to have a positive impact, and it makes those things that you can't control and you don't get from being in person not make or break the situation quite as much. One way to do this is to make posts your own. I know home office provides us with a lot of things that we can use. A lot of the Posh leaders, including myself, will post things from time to time that you can use and repost, or copy and paste. And I feel like we lose our authenticity if we do too much of that. And I know that life gets really busy and it can be really hard to post your own content all the time. And I know that I struggle to find that time sometimes, or I have in the past. I'm working towards doing more scheduled posts and things of that nature to help me to be able to make my own graphics, to make my own wording, and to be able to make all of my posts a lot more my own, because I don't want to lose that authenticity. I want to be able to provide my customers with that feeling that they're talking to me, that it is me posting, that it's not just something I copied and pasted from home office or another leader or anything like that. I know with updates and information in the team page, a lot of times that does result in copy and pasting. And my attempt, and I hope that it doesn't come across as I'm just trying to be lazy, because my intent with copying and pasting a lot of the updates that other leaders are posting is to avoid it being like the game of telephone where, you know, one person tells somebody something and by the time each person tells each other, you get down 10 people and it's all jumbled up and nobody even knows what the original message was anymore. I don't want to risk that happening with any newsroom updates or any business updates, and so a lot of times I will copy and paste in that respect, and that's because it's coming straight from premier groups and everything, and I want to ensure that the updates are completely correct, accurate, and that they include all of the information that I'm being given and not just part of it. But I still try to make posts that are my own, even in our team page, and in my VIP groups and things like that. I try to make posts where I can show some of my personality and make it my own. I do try to come up with my own trainings, while some of it is ideas I've heard from other people or things I've learned in other training. I do try to do things like this so that way I have the opportunity to teach all myself and have it be more meaningful. And, it's not necessarily one-on-one, but it's about as close as I can get to some of y'all because, with distance and everything, we can only do so much. But I want to make sure that we're making the best use of technology that we can so we can be working together. I do suggest using your own selfies. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, look, this person using this, doesn't it look great on them? While I don't expect all of you to try every single product and have your own selfie for everything, I feel like it is more meaningful to your VIPs specifically if you're posting pictures of yourself using the products. I feel like you lose a little bit of the value in your post whenever you're sharing other people's stories and pictures, because your VIPs don't know if you were given the permission to use those pictures. They don't know that person, and so they don't know if that person really used it for 10 days like they said they did, or that person really got that result in however many days. And then you run the risk of having people ask questions like, well, if that helped their skin that much, how many times a day were they using it? Were they using it on wet skin or dry skin, or were they doing this? And we don't know for 100% fact what other people were doing. And so I feel like your safest bet is to make sure that you are using your own personal experiences with your pictures, because I want to make sure that you're able to answer the questions asked by your VIPs and you're able to share your own true experience. And if you're using something and you're getting results, and then say one of your VIPs asks for an update 2 weeks down the road, well, if you posted somebody else's picture 2 weeks down the road, you might not even remember which consultant that was or where it had come from. Whereas if it's your own results, you're able to say, hey, absolutely, give me 5 minutes, let me snap a good picture of my skin, and I'll send it right over. I'll post it right up on the page. And so having your own selfies and your own images goes a long way, because you are able to vouch for them, you are able to share them, and you're able to update and change them whenever you need to. Interactive posts and call to action are a lot more meaningful than just basic posts. But even on the interactive posts and the call to action, I feel like even if the image says, which one of these 4 would you pick? Typing something out that says, which one of these 4 would you pick? Or, man, that's a hard choice. See my answer in comments, or, things like that. It helps to make it look like you did more than just grab a picture and throw it up there. It also helps to make it seem a lot more personal. It helps it to seem like you are sharing your answer, your thoughts as well, and that you're also interested in theirs. A lot of people love to give their opinion. That's one thing you'll find. If you ask somebody's opinion, whoa, you'll get comments. Trust me. And every once in a while we come across an interactive post that just lights up. And, there have been some that have taken off that I never expected. Keeping up with, non-political and non-depressing. Yeah, we'll sum it up into that. Non-political and non-depressing news and posting current things helps a lot too. Like, for instance, the unicorn frappuccino from Starbucks. Even Starbucks didn't think it was going to be that cool, but it very quickly became that cool. And being able to get in on that action and post something with my VIPs that day and say, hey, Are you going to go out to get this? Did you? How was it? What's it like? I'm debating on getting it. That gave me the opportunity to get comments because people like their opinions known. It also allowed me to get feedback. Helped me to decide that it probably didn't taste that awesome and I probably didn't want one. And so I didn't feel so bad when every store in like 100-mile radius sold out by noon. So, that was fortunate. But keeping up with certain things like that and being able to post, I feel like it goes a long way. It gets people's attention. Posting about, current trends, different things that you're seeing, crazy food items that they're coming out with these days. I think Carrie Banks, she is always posting like weird stuff that she's found, like chocolate chip cookie flavored chips, and I'm not even sure that was one. There've been a lot of really, really strange food things that she's posted. Let's see. Reply to comments and like comments. I feel it's really important that at the very least that you go through and like or put an emotion thingy on every comment that people are posting. If you get a comment that's just incredibly inappropriate or something, you can delete it. It's okay. But I feel like try to make sure that you can leave at least one of the little things on all of the comments. And try to make sure that you're responding in a positive manner. But try to reply to all the comments, even if it's just like, hey, I like that idea, or hey, that sounds great, or thanks, or, somebody thanks you for sharing it, say you're welcome. Just little things like that. Responding helps to open up the opportunity to potentially message back and forth and chit chat with somebody. It also allows the opportunity to tell them, essentially, I hear you, I saw your post, and I read it, and thank you for commenting. I value your comments. And that can make people feel good. You never know when somebody's having a really bad day and they're feeling incredibly undervalued, and something as simple as a response to their quirky comment on something can really, make them feel a lot better. So I think that it's important to go ahead and try to do that. It's something really simple that we have the ability to do, and make a difference for somebody else. I feel like doing posts that are like a day in the life of, you don't have to call it that, but like me and my daughter are out and about, I'll snap a quick selfie of the two of us, or if me and my son are out doing something, or the kids are playing, or we're at cheer practice, or we're out to dinner with the family, or we're at the park, or, whatever we're doing. I try to post periodically, and I don't do a great job about doing it very often. But I do try to post on a fairly regular basis of different things that we're doing, and pictures with the kids, and pictures that include myself, even though I'm not a fan of pictures of myself. I usually make my husband get in on the picture too, so it's not just me. But I feel like those posts make a big difference in creating a personal environment instead of just a professional environment on your page. Especially on your personal page as well as your business page. It makes it pretty clear that, you're there to build relationships and make friendships and share your life and everything. And it's not just about business to you. It's not just about getting that next sale. So I feel like those are really important to make sure that you're creating the right vibe. A lot of people like to go with the 90-10 rule, where 90% of it is fun, interactive posts in which you're creating engagement and spreading a positive light, and 10% is your business posts. That can be kind of hard to not post a million times a day and feel like you're still getting everything in that you want to. But try to use that as a general rule of thumb, so that way you're not posting entirely too much business stuff and you are keeping enough meaningful personal interactions on there. Um, again, with that, I say post funny things. Non-posh related posts. Make sure that you're posting things that are amusing, not necessarily like a crude sense of humor. I mean, you know your friends on your friends list a lot better than I do or anybody does. If you're getting a lot of customers on there from events and other things, I recommend kind of keeping it PG, maybe PG-13 sometimes. But you definitely don't want to be offending people. But you do want to create a fun and fun-loving environment on there. And your personality is going to determine what all you can get away with. As far as the people you know and you being you. Some people can post a lot worse stuff, and some people have people that they worry about on their page being offended. So you are the one that can judge that, not me. But I do say to post funny things because I see a lot of shit in my newsfeed, quite frankly, and Facebook needs more funny stuff. Use people's names when you're responding to them. Facebook will automatically tag them if you start to type in their name or whatever. I think that that's a good thing because then you're able to make sure that they see your response. Just in general, I feel like a lot of us are just like, hey, da-da-da, how's it going? And we don't use people's names a whole lot. We don't say, hi, Wendy, how's it going? And sometimes people just think that it sounds too robotic, and maybe it does. But I feel like it can be important to make sure that we're addressing people, and making it known that we're talking to them, that we do know their name, that we do pay attention to them, and things like that. So just a thought on that. Let's see. Scroll back through your conversations with people, or do a search in your group to see what they've commented on. Check out recent posts on their page for any kind of recent life events. These are going to give you the opportunity to make the conversation more personal and say, hey, I know a while back you mentioned that you really loved this scent, and I wanted to let you know that Posh recently came out with such and such, and I think that you're really going to like the scent profile of this product. I'd love to send you a sample. Would you be interested? Or, hey, do you want me to send you some more information on this product? I don't have any samples available for you, but I wanted to make sure that you knew it was there. Hey, I saw you got a new dog. I know that can be really stressful. I hope it's going well. And check in and see if you could send them a pampering pack. Even if it's not about Posh, you can just follow up and be like, hey, I know you got a lot going on. Just wanted to check in on you, make sure everything's going all right. Hope things are going well for you. Things like that. Making sure that it's not always about Posh or your business. Make sure that it's about building relationships. And with that said, make sure that it's genuine. Don't build relationships just for the sake of having somebody to buy your product. Make sure that you genuinely want to get to know these people, and that you genuinely do care, and that your compliments are sincere. You don't want to set yourself up to hurt people in the future, and you don't want to set yourself up to look like somebody who doesn't truly care, who's just in it for getting the business or getting that sale or whatever. You want to make sure that you are coming across the right way, and that people can sense sincerity, and they can sense when you're being genuine. And so I really recommend making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, and that you are, in fact, trying to get to know people better, and that you really do care about their life or their cute new dog. And if you can't do it with all sincerity, then why don't you scroll through your friends list a little bit further and see if there's somebody who you can. Because there's no point in sending things out when they're not genuine, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Making customer profiles allows you the opportunity to keep all of your customers' information in one place. Allows you to keep track of anything and everything you've mailed out to that customer before. If they liked or disliked certain scents, if they were allergic to certain ingredients, if they had any problems with certain products, if they've had any problems with orders in the past, anything. If you have all of those notes in the same place for each customer, that's going to give you the opportunity to make sure that you are catering to their needs, because you're able to reflect back on any previous purchases, comments, interests, likes, dislikes, allergies, issues, whatever. And so it's going to give them a lot more personalized experience. And it's going to make you look like the rock star that remembers everything. And that's going to make them feel really special that you remembered that information for them. I feel like asking people for opinions, like I said before, is a great way to get interaction. And it's a great way to start conversation and find people who maybe think the same way that you do or feel the same way that you do. And so that's a great way to post on your page, or even message people and say, hey, I was thinking about you today. I know that you've done such and such before, and I'm supposed to be going to do this or going to this city or whatever. I wanted to ask you what you'd recommend, or what your thoughts were, or what did you enjoy the most about doing such and such, things like that. It's a great way to open up conversation and show that their thoughts and opinions matter to you. Let's see, what else have I not touched on? Because a lot of these I have. Be descriptive. I know I touched on this in my last video. I'm not positive that I did in this one already. But make sure that, if you're sending them a message to follow up on something, that you're being descriptive. You're talking about what you sent them, not, hey, did you get a chance to try your samples? But, hey, I sent you the Bright Young thing. How did you like that? Was that something that worked really well with your needs? How did it make your skin feel? What did you think of the scent? Be descriptive so you can better understand what they do and don't like. And that'll help you to fill in more information in their customer profile as well, and keep a better idea of what all they like. Let's see. Other meaningful posts examples would be like your personal testimonies on products, whether it's Posh products or not. I feel like it's important every once in a while. And one thing you'll notice that a lot of the bigger leaders do is posting a review on a non-Posh product, whether it be a kitchen appliance, a food that you tried, or even another beauty product. A lot of people, they help to gain the trust and following of others by sharing personal testimonies that are relatable. And I feel that it gives credibility that will allow people to be more open to listening to your Posh testimonies and your, personal business testimonies. Sharing the meaning behind why you joined Posh and how that's evolved and changed and where you think it will continue to, is a good way to open up and to take away that barrier between you and your audience. It helps them to see, I know with a lot of people's Posh why, it's going to give more of a raw explanation of yourself, and I think it brings people closer, and it helps them to see similarities in themselves and their thoughts and their feelings to you and the things that you're going through or the things that led you to Posh. Being open and honest goes a long ways. It also, like I said, it takes away that barrier, and it allows your customers, your VIPs, your friends into your life, and it gives them the opportunity to have more to relate to you on and to be able to talk to you on. And it just kind of, it makes you just, another human being, not somebody on a pedestal or somebody that they don't really feel like they know or that they're not comfortable talking with. So it definitely makes a big difference. I also suggest to reach out and check on your VIPs, especially if you haven't heard from them in a while, or if you see that they haven't, posted on their personal page in a while, or that they have and there's stuff going on in their lives. Just checking up on them to build that relationship and help create that foundation for a friendship, I think is a really, really great idea. You need to focus on building relationships and building friendships beyond just products. And ultimately, the sincerity of building the relationships and the friendships with these people past just the products is what's going to give you that edge of your things being meaningful and your things being sincere and you being taken as a friend when you post things rather than just an acquaintance that sells stuff. Because people are more apt to support their friends and their businesses and support somebody who's meaningful to them, that they trust or they talk to or that they feel a connection with, than just somebody that they met in a group. Hopefully that's helpful. That's kind of everything I've got listed for that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video because it feels like I've run a bit long. If you have any additional questions, comment below and let me know. Hopefully I haven't just repeated myself a million times and gone in too big of a circle. But a lot of the things when it comes to meaningful posts and meaningful conversations with people they all stem back, and you'll find that all of this stuff does connect to one another. So if you have any questions, comment below, and I'm going to go get this ready to post in the group next week. I hope y'all have a good one.